Hello one and all, this is Soulful Lordy, James Bullock, once again with another video game first impressions. This time around, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. For the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Survivor is the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, the 2019 Star Wars game that focused on a young Jedi who didn't know he was a Jedi until, of course, the game began in Cal Kestis. And during Fallen Order, he is able to befriend certain people, certain creatures, certain beings, as they try to stop the growing tyranny of the Galactic Empire. And Survivor actually continues that story, but 5 years after the events of what happened in Fallen Order. And one of the more interesting aspects when it comes to the story is the fact that the characters that you grew to know and love in the first game have been separated from Cal, and we actually get a reunion as we progress through the story and see what they've been up to and how possibly we can get the band back together. This allows for the game to actually explore more worlds, open up more of the worlds that we did explore in the previous game, actually give us a central hub that is more explorable as you get more powers. So there are certain things and rumors, as they're called, or side quests that you can't complete until you get certain abilities as you progress through the narrative. There are also bigger, deadlier creatures as you try to complete certain side quests or rumors, as you talk to specific NPCs, and depending on when you try to take on the challenge of those side quests, you may be actually underpowered and underleveled, so you may get stomped out very easily. The gameplay is still rooted in what was in Fallen Order, but once again expanded upon. You're able to utilize the lightsaber and the Force to slash, hack, knock back enemies, pull in enemies as if you're Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, and of course pull off well-timed blocks and parries. Just like in the previous game, I feel that the parry system isn't the strictest. There does feel like there's sometimes an input delay. I also don't really like the feeling of not having the ability to cancel actions. So if you're in the middle of an animation, say you're trying to throw a 3-hit combo and you realize the enemy is about to do an unblockable attack, you can't utilize the dodge to cancel that animation and dodge out of the way. You will still get hit because the animation is locked in. But beyond that, I still enjoy the general combat that is associated with Survivor that was in Jedi Fallen Order. There is some slight expansion when it comes to the Force powers, including the ability to confuse certain grunts and stormtroopers so they can attack their own. But when it comes to the lightsaber, that is where the expansion of the gameplay is really where it shines. You have different battle stances now, up to 5, where you're able to switch these out at specific meditation points or the save points, where you're able to allocate also your skill points into the various skill trees. And these battle stances all act differently, be it the regular lightsaber single blade or the dual blade lightsaber ability. Depending on what you enjoy the most, depending on how you want to pretty much just run through enemies, there may be a battle stance for you, but it also may be one of those things where you want to switch things up as you periodically play throughout certain missions. There are also certain puzzles and environmental abilities and attacks that you can utilize, including these bombs that you can tether and throw at people. And then of course there's the respawn system that returns from Fallen Order. So if you die, you lose all the life and experience points that you gained from the last point of your meditation, and you have to kill that adversary to get those points back. One of the biggest issues when it comes to this game, and one of the main reasons why I waited to do first impressions, is the fact that technically it is flawed, especially on the PC version. Between frame rate drops, crashes, game-breaking bugs, the poor optimization associated with Survivor has had people not only scared off from playing this game, but also just very leery about actually progressing as they play the game, because they are fearful that they may lose progression. And without, say, a manual hard save that you can utilize, the chances of save data corruption is something that has happened in this game, and it's something that of course could just ruin an entire playthrough. Thankfully, playing on the PlayStation 5, I haven't had too many big problems. I've seen some frame rate drops from wonky animations and graphical glitches, but nothing that is too severe that has me worried right now. But I'm very cautious as I continue to play, even after the recent patches. Overall, Survivor is exactly what I wanted from the Fallen Order sequel, a bigger, better, grander version of what we had in the previous game. The only problem that I have right now, especially if you did enjoy the previous game, is the stability, is the technical issues. If they can iron out most everything, of course you can't fix everything, there's always going to be something. But if you can iron out some of the biggest problems, which to me they've done a pretty good job over the last few weeks, then this is a high recommendation for those who enjoyed the previous game. So there you have it. This has been Soulful Lordy, James Bullock, once again with another video game first impressions. Star Wars Jedi Survivor for the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Now if you don't mind, I'm going to have to put a stop to these very rude individuals who are harassing this frog-like man. And if they think I won't use the Force on them, they will have no choice but to say, "Oh Lordy."